Bonjour, welcome to week 14, the most exciting week yet, starting off strong with the Eiffel Tower, of course. If you forgot, obviously, we are in Paris. This is our first full day, so we are making our first stop, the Eiffel Tower. My main request of the morning was to find a place to eat breakfast where we could see the Eiffel Tower. So obviously, we found a place. It actually was kind of a far walk. It looks like we're closer than we really were. Oh my gosh, yes, this dump truck parked right in front of us for a minute. That was really funny, I thought. Anyway, here's our pictures of our table with our croissants and then the Eiffel Tower in the background. I feel like I've lived my life to the fullest extent at this point, so I'm good. After our breakfast in front of the Eiffel Tower, we visited the Pantheon of Paris. Following that, we visited Notre Dame, and this was yet another beautiful church. Definitely comparable to Westminster Abbey. It was super, super crowded, but I mean, so pretty. It was odd because while we were walking around inside, there were actually people doing construction above us. So they were like walking above on scaffolding, and I don't know if that was because of the fire that happened a few years ago or if it's just updates that they were already working on, but next up, we went to Saint Chapelle, and I actually hadn't really heard much about this place before. Jackson had found it and booked us, and this was actually a super cool place. The stained glass was beautiful. I mean, it was just like, felt like I was in a Disney movie standing in this. And I hear myself repeating a lot, like, this is beautiful, that's beautiful, but I just don't even know any other way to describe it. It's just jaw-dropping. Everything here is. And by everything here, I mean anywhere in Europe. For lunch, we just found a cute little restaurant. I had a burger and fries. Jackson had fish and chips. Finally, we did look for it everywhere in London, but we could not find it. I don't know what the deal was. We had to have been going in all the wrong places because we just could not find it in London. Now we are walking to the Louvre, so here's the entrance. And then there she is, the infamous pyramid. This place turned out to be absolutely massive. Like, there's no way we could have seen every room in the amount of time that we had. Although we did try our very best, and we think we hit most of it. And of course, here we are in the Mona Lisa room. I actually could not focus on anything else until we got this part out of the way because it was so stressful. I mean, so many people, super crowded. Like, you had to wait in line, but there was no line. It was just a big group of people who would all just push forward, and you'd wait in that group the best you could to get that picture. But I mean, we got it. We got our selfies, all good, but it was super stressful. So this is like a miniature knockoff of Arc de Triomphe, but we are, after the Louvre, on our way to see the real one, and it was the longest walk. I mean, we could see it pretty clearly from like forever away, and it was still like a 40-minute walk. Like here, this video is awful, but we could see it from there, and it was still like almost an hour walk away. Here I'm zooming in on it, and we can see it still, but it's still a 30-minute walk. We did stop for some hot chocolate and a crepe because it was right there and we were cold. I absolutely loved seeing this place around Christmas because, I mean, just like in London, it was all lights up and it was pretty, super pretty. I mean, it was a long walk, but the views were beautiful. Here we are, finally made it after a little over an hour. So the funny thing about this place is that everybody thinks that you have to run across in front of all the traffic, but there's actually a tunnel underground that you can take that takes you straight up to that circle. So we only knew that because of a TikTok that we saw, but that was a really great hack because I definitely would have just run across the street. Our final stop of the day was to go back to the Eiffel Tower and of course see it at night because it's all lit up. And then every hour for 5 minutes it sparkles. So we waited until it sparkled so that I could get that on video and then get some pictures in front of it. This was so pretty. I mean, so movie. Again, Hallmark movie. That's what this was. Then of course dinner, and I'll tell you, this pizza does not compare to Italy. And then a crepe for dessert, because why not? Alright, and Tuesday, our second full day in Paris, we are going to the Palace of Versailles. There was so much gold just everywhere, it was really crazy. In here, I'm honestly just taking pictures of everything because everything was so cool. Finally, we reached outside to the gardens, and they were super cool. We couldn't have possibly got enough pictures here. Afterward, we walked around, found some lunch. We went to a restaurant that was actually fairly authentically French, and so I had a French burger which had like this cheese sauce on it. I don't know, I couldn't honestly decide if I liked it or not, but it wasn't bad. Jackson, I don't remember what he had, but it was like a veal with something else, but it was a very traditional French meal, and the waiter actually told us, like, oh, he warned Jackson, like, this isn't really for tourists, like, you really may not like it at all. And was like, if you like it, you're a French guy. And just basically a Jackson the warning, and Jackson was like, no, I want to try it. His conclusion was like, it wasn't bad, but that he probably wouldn't get it again, but he did eat the whole thing. So basically, Jackson's French. And now here we are visiting Musée d'Orsay, I believe is how it's pronounced. Here we saw some Monets and Van Goghs. Jack and I have now officially seen both Starry Nights. We saw the other one in New York last semester, so can check that off the list. Now we are visiting Galeries Lafayette, which is a mall, and this was actually something that I found through my mom. She sent it to me, like a TikTok or video or something, of this really beautiful, massive mall in Paris, and we got to see it during Christmas. So there's a massive tree in there. It was really cool. We weren't there to shop, we were literally just there to go inside and check it out. Next, we walked to see Centre Pompidou, which is a project that we have heard a lot about in our years of schooling. No matter where I am in the world, I just cannot escape spiders. How do I wash my hands? We found a fast food place here called Quick, and I had a chicken cordon bleu sandwich. It was actually pretty good. Here's our view. Then afterward, Jackson really wanted something sweet, so we found this place and got some fluffy pancakes. Here he is, super excited to eat it. It was like an Oreo cookies and cream flavored topping. Took a picture of this because it's a Miami bar, so wow. Final event of the night, we hit up the bar across the street from our hotel. Subway right outside. Wednesday morning, we're heading out to our final destination, Amsterdam. Nothing crazy, just another train, and here we are off of it at the train station in Amsterdam. Our hotel is actually right across right there, so we had to take a ferry to get across, and the ferry was free, which is awesome. Here's our hotel. At the very top, there's like a swing. There you saw it, party elevator, and then now a room tour. I think this was our favorite room. It was really cool. There's a record player in here that actually works, and they have a whole bunch of records like in the room already, but you can go get more downstairs. Mini bar, but of course everything there costs money, so we didn't use that. And then the view, oh my gosh, so cool, and we're right by the train station too. There's a restaurant in the lobby of the hotel we were at, so we just had our dinner down there. Here's the table where you could pick up different records from.
So weird.
Hello? Ooh.
I can't see the lyrics, Jack.
I'm sorry, I want to get a picture of this.
Every elevator was like a different party theme, so that one was karaoke. We actually needed to do laundry really bad, and we thought that this hotel had laundry in it, but apparently it's a dry cleaning service and you have to pay per item. So we went across the way, took the ferry to go find some laundromat somewhere, and this is where we ended up. We stood there for a while we waited for our laundry to work or go through the cycles because we didn't want to leave it. So it was just like an hour and a half of standing there. But that's alright because we have 3 full days here. I can officially confirm croissants are different in every country. This is a super cute cafe that we had some food at. I just had a croissant and coffee. Jackson had like French onion soup. What was so crazy about Amsterdam is the bikes. I mean, I knew about them, but crazy. There were so many, like they had streets dedicated for just bikes, street lights and everything just for bikes. First museum today is the Van Gogh Museum. Here we have my favorite Van Gogh painting. Super stoked to have gotten to see that. Back out on the streets of Amsterdam. Super cool, the row houses. Oh my gosh. Next we went to the Mocha Museum, and it was kind of just like a little fun house in here. Next we went to this museum, which I am actually just not even going to try to pronounce. This one was really interesting because it was actually a museum that just came on our city card that we got that got us into a whole bunch of stuff. So we visited it. I couldn't take a picture of a lot of things in here because they were pretty erotic, and we didn't expect to walk into that, so it was a little off-putting at first, but I mean, there was lots of other cool stuff in here too. We used up pretty much the rest of the daylight to walk through Vondel Park, and on our way through here, there were these dogs running around, and like so many. Then they all turned out to belong to this one guy, and whenever it was time to go home, he like rounded them all up by name, and they just followed him. It was the most bizarre thing ever, because I thought this was like a dog park and a bunch of people brought their dogs, but it was one guy. I'm assuming he's like a rescuer. I don't know the situation, but it's so funny.
Dude, I think he's blowing that whistle with his mouth. I don't think it's like an actual whistle. I think he fucking blew that.
You might be right.
So today is actually Thanksgiving, and we were both disappointed we couldn't be home. It's our first time not being home for Thanksgiving, so we were gonna go have dinner at Hard Rock Cafe, but we went in and it was booked up because it was Thanksgiving, so that was weird. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting everything to be booked here for Thanksgiving, but it was, so we didn't get Hard Rock, but we ended up at an Irish pub. I became a big fan of this Apple Bandit cider. For dinner, Jackson got a burger and I got a what they called cottage pie, but it was basically just a shepherd's pie. I thought, you know what, this is like super Thanksgiving-y, so. Again, testing out our subways. This subway was also really cool. I think it was a runner-up to Paris. Before heading back to the hotel, we went and got something sweet because Jackson was really craving it and convinced me. So here we are Friday. It is a foggy day, kind of rainy, not too rainy, but a little bit. Just pretty cold. This morning we were heading to the Anne Frank house and I couldn't take pictures inside, unfortunately, but it was really awesome. There was a cafe though, so afterward we did stop in there, get to have a view of the canal. Then we hit up some silly little small museums. This was the Tulip Museum, because you know, of course, Holland is known for its tulips. Our city card actually got us a free canal tour, so here we are on that. On the tour, we learned about these houses here. They're called the 7 dancing houses because they're all like leaning in funny directions. So those were crazy, and people actually do live in them right now. I'm like, what? This building is the Nemo, which is a museum that we will actually go to tomorrow. And then our hotel, which is ironically like a big stop in Amsterdam, and we didn't even know that when picking that hotel out, but it's a popular building. It's got like a club, restaurant, it's got the swing, it's kind of an attraction. Here's a museum that's actually right by our hotel. It's called The Eye. I believe it's like a movie museum, film museum. Next we did a houseboat tour, and so houseboats are really common in Amsterdam. They used to be a really cheap way of living. Now they are not, unfortunately, but the concept is still there, and it's a really cool way to live, if you can afford it, of course. For a little snack, we got these truffle fries. So for some reason, they're like known for their fries over there, loading them up and stuff, so we had to try it. And this was what we got. It was really good. Could be addictive. Next, we visited another museum that I really am not sure about pronouncing. It's like Rijisk. I don't know. I have no idea, but it was a fun one. It was a big one. Now we figured we cannot go to Amsterdam and not visit the red light district, so here is that, or what I could show of it. For dinner, we went to this Asian restaurant, and it was really good food. It was, we got some deal that got us all these things. I don't really remember. I just remember it was really good. We spent that night at the bar in the hotel, and this random guy actually came up and did a bunch of card magic tricks on us. This was our reaction. It was really wild. Here we are on our final day, and our first stop is the Nemo Museum. Now, this was just one of those things that was on our city card, so we got in for free, and it turned out to be like a children's science museum, which was a little unfortunate. There's a lot of kids, but I mean, it was fun. We still walked around and kind of did things, but thank goodness it was free because there's a lot of kids. Here we're watching a chain reaction. I don't know. I was pretty entertained. These are always fun to watch. Unfortunately, the wall was in the way, so we couldn't see the entire thing, but you get the gist. I put it in 2x speed because it's actually really long. It took a few minutes. Next, we went to this architecture exhibit. It was basically about humans destroying the earth, so super positive, but you know, we got to see some pretty cool things, some fun models. For today's snack, we went to this place called Fibo. It's like these vending, like a little fast food vending machine type situation. It was fun. You basically just pay with tap or anything, and then press the button of whichever thing you want, and it opens up, and you can pull it out the wall. It was fun. I wish we had something like that here. We know how much I love the canals in Venice, and I love them just the same here. So pretty all the time. So here, Jackson and I actually went into the Eye, the film museum that was right by our hotel. They had a super cool restaurant in this place, but we didn't stay here for dinner. So what you just saw was the elevator taking us up to the bar at the top of our hotel. A literal show while going up the elevator. Views from the roof. I absolutely love this place. For dinner, we were super tired today and decided to keep it chill, so we just had dinner again down in the restaurant in the lobby. Since our last night, we decided, you know what? Dessert. So Jackson got this like lava cake, and I got a strawberry milkshake that actually had alcohol in it. Of course, we could not stay at this hotel and not go on the swing, so of course we did that. As you can see, it is literally downpouring. It was raining so hard, and poor Jackson had his whole shirt soaked. Sunday morning, and it is our day to leave, unfortunately. This was really sad. I mean, I think Jackson and I both agreed this was our favorite place. This is a place that we have talked about possibly living one day, so it was super cool to get to see it. Here we're back in Orvieto, and the Christmas lights are finally being turned on. And a tree in front of the Duomo, not quite lit up yet, but it's there. This was the absolute most amazing week that I think we had the entire semester. I loved it. My favorite spot was Amsterdam. I would love to live there one day. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, the video speaks for itself. But see you next week for week 15.